Hello everybody, welcome to our e-learning sessions for 4th primary. This part is about novel. Now we have finished 7 chapters. Today is our 8th chapter. Chapter 8, chapter 7 we finished that Scrooge learned his lesson and he wanted to change his life in order to be loved by others. Okay, let's see what's going on here. In slide number 2, Mr. Scrooge and the third ghost arrived at the house of the Cratchit family, and they didn't seem happy at Christmas. Do you remember the last Christmas when they were happy and they were all sitting around the fire? Do you remember that when there was Christmas dinner as goose and some nuts and a little wine? Okay, now this Christmas is different. They are sad. They are just sitting alone. The mother and the daughter were just sewing. Do you know what is sewing? To use the needle and thread to sew something. And the young boys were just looking at the clock. Everybody was very, very quiet. Now Mrs. Cratchit, the mother, said, "Your father will soon be home." One of the kids said, "He walks home slowly these days." Yes, but he walked faster before, even with Tinny Tim on his shoulders. What's that mean? That means that Tinny Tim was no longer on his father's shoulder. He is gone. And that's why the family is so sad. And then the family became very quiet one more time. Then the door opened and Bob Cratchit entered the room. "Hello family, hello everyone." And then what happened? He said, "Everything is ready for the funeral on Sunday," said Bob Cratchit. And then he continued, "He has a nice green place in the graveyard. You will see how nice it is." What is he's talking about? He's talking about his son and the place he will bury his son on Sunday, because that means Tinny Tim is dead. Then he didn't continue. He was not able to continue talking because he burst into tears. He cried. Now they left the family, Mr. Scrooge and the ghost. Let's see, at first Scrooge realized that Tinny Tim was dead. Now in the slide number 3, they left the family and the ghost led him to another place, to the last place in this journey, out of the city. It was a graveyard, a cemetery. "What's that? Why are we stopping here?" asked Scrooge. But as usual, the ghost didn't answer him. And then the ghost said nothing and just pointed to a gravestone. The gravestone is the place where the name of the dead person is written over it and the year he died on. Okay, Scrooge looked in fear. He was so scared of what he will see. On the gravestone was his name, Ebenezer Scrooge. It was his own grave. Now he was very scared. "Oh, Spirit," he cried, "Oh, Spirit, I'm that man. I'm the one whom they were talking about in the center of the city. I'm the man whom his servant steal him. I'm the bad person." He was so afraid and scared. "I will die alone with no friends. But isn't there a way to change this future? Do you show me things that will happen or things that they may happen?" Now this is the question. He asked the ghost, "Are you showing me things that are sure is going to happen to me? Or maybe if I change my present and the future will be changed?" But the ghost only stood there silent as always. If I change my life now, will the future change too? Now, this is very important words. If I change my life, my present, would the future change too or no? Now Scrooge was asking. But there was again no words. Listen, spirit. And then he was grabbing the ghost from the arm. He held his arm and said, I am not the man I was. From now in, I will always celebrate Christmas. I have learned my lesson and I have changed. And then he cried with tears. Now, as you see, he found his own gravestone and his name was written on the stone, and he was so scared of that. And he was asking the ghost, and also he was asking himself, if I change my present, should I change the future, or the future should be changed or no? Now Scrooge wanted to change his life. He wants to be a better person. He wants to be a better person in order to change his future. So he decided to celebrate the Christmas from now forever. And he will change his relation with his nephew. He will be the best person ever. Let's see. In the next 2 chapters, we will see how he will change his relation with his family and relatives and friends. Now let's see the questions. Where did the spirit, in slide number 4, where did the spirit the spirit of the future led Scrooge? The spirit of the future led Scrooge to the house of the Cratchit and also to the graveyard. So he led him to 2 places, the house of the Cratchit and the graveyard. Number 2, why did Scrooge look at the gravestone in fear? Because it was his own grave and his name was written on the gravestone, and this is horrible feeling. Number 3, if I change my life, will the future change too? Is that possible? Now comment. Who said these words? These words were said by Scrooge to the spirit of the future when he saw his grave with his name written on the stone. He was afraid and wanted to change his future to a better future. In slide number 5, the last slide here, on the gravestone was his name, Ebenezer Scrooge. The spirit of the future and Scrooge arrived at a familiar place to Scrooge. It was the house of the Cratchits. Scrooge have learned the lesson and will always celebrate Christmas. And now we finished our session for today. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoy it.